I'm mad that was top of mind to be the trolley thing to say.
Fake ball.
Hey.
So, did y'all know? I know everyone can hear me.
Yeah.
On Time.is, they show us the what kind of days it is.
Yeah, what day
special
is it?
days.
Yeah.
You won't fucking believe it. I'm gonna tell you both days. So, one is
Wow. Wow.
one is International Men's Day, which I feel like that's it's like, okay, like there's good that can come from International Men's Day. We gotta teach each other to be vulnerable and emotional and not fall into toxic masculinity, and I can rock with all that, and I want to really make sure that that's something we honor. It's also World Toilet Day.
Well, I mean, look, if you wanted to put two things together, I mean, I'm just saying, sometimes dudes are shit.
Yeah,
It's kind of reasonable.
I mean, it just happens.
All right, we're going into it. I love this right now. Welcome everybody to Quarter 3, the best basketball podcast on the planet, brought to you by the wonderful team at Fanbyte. I am one of your hosts, Khalif Adams. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a wonderful week. To my immediate right is the beautiful iris and pupil of Nikki Grayson, who is never a student but has beautiful pupils.
Hey, that's that.
The fumbling of the mic made me even more happy.
Nikki breaks so many fucking rules of audio broadcasting every single time they do anything.
But it's funny.
Wild.
It is
funny.
It is
true.
One of the best things on the planet, and was the reason I love Nikki so much.
It's so hot in here.
How are you, Nikki? How's your eyeballs?
Am I dying?
We all are every day.
Oh, cool. Thanks, Khalif.
If you want to
sometimes
be
it's slow,
technical,
sometimes it's fast.
if you want me to actually your statement, every day we're dying a little bit.
Whatever. While you introduce John, I'm leaving.
Getting closer to God in a tight situation. I love rap music. Anyway, John Warren, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. I taught a class last night at my alma mater, and Khalif, I no longer know what a college student's supposed to look like. They all look like babies to me. It's very weird.
I was fumbling through Twitter last night and came across a streamer's timeline and went into their chat, went into the channel to go see what was the scuttlebutt of what they were talking about, because they were talking about a whole bunch of different things. And two things came out of that conversation. One, the person wasn't on screen at the moment, so somebody else was talking to them talking to chat through their Discord. And someone wrote into the chat, they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm 25." And the person said, "Oh my God, you're 25? Wow, you're maybe one of the oldest people in this room."
Fuck off.
I wanted to throw...
That sucks.
Fuck off.
I wanted to throw this chair. This beautiful chair that you can see on shop.fanbyte.com is a gorgeous chair. I wanted to throw it directly at that person.
This is not a bit. The fact that chair exists and can be bought was a legitimate cause for concern for the finance department this week.
Well, if anything, me having the idea to put the chair on the website saved us from the IRS.
Chair.
You know what? That's honestly a really good point. I mean, legitimately.
Chair.
So, anyway.
So, you're welcome.
Chair.
Michelle owes me an apology.
Yeah. Yeah, and there was something else that they said about there was a person that they talked about that was super well known, or should be super well known. Just guitarist who was at Woodstock.
Sting.
Black dude. Why can't I think of his name right
Jimi
now?
Hendrix.
Yes, Jimi Hendrix. Somebody
Jimi
talked about
Hendrix?
Jimi Hendrix, and the person was like, What's a Jimi Hendrix?" And I was like, I just want to throw everything
Let's-
away.
Let's not and say we didn't.
Oh
Yeah.
man, again, chair. Again, thank you everybody for coming through on a wonderful Friday morning. We have a couple of stories to dig into for this week in terms of the basketball universe. I am extremely disheartened by the first story, because I think the first story is one that will bring Nikki some sadness because of the way that this has been coming across the airlines and airwaves. The former Staples Center, home of the
Okay, first of all, it's still the Staples Center.
not anymore. It's changed now.
No, it will. Not until Christmas.
I'm in the same way that people put up decorations right after October, after Halloween. I will never call the Staples Center the Staples Centers ever again. I'm now calling it the Crypto Center, because the Staples Center has been bought out by
Fucking disgusting.
Crypto.com. They announced their historic
Fucking
naming rights partnership for
gross.
one of the world's most iconic sports and live entertainment venues, formerly known as the place next to the Xbox conference, Staples Center. For full press releases, visit Crypto blah 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 blah. Chair. How do you feel about one of the most iconic buildings, which is also a really interesting conversation too, of just like you get accustomed to things just being called things. But I think
Yeah.
it might have been Unique or someone else who I'd seen on Twitter say, I can't remember the last time I actually was in a Staples.
Yeah, like
Oh yeah, no,
So-
exactly. Yeah. They
I
should
think-
rename the business. Like
Yeah.
they should
Crypto to
rename the
crypto.com.
to
business.
Crypto.com.
Yeah, the Crypto.com.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm gonna go run to Crypto.com and grab some paper clips. You need anything? You need any reams of white paper?
Can I get
No, you're good.
can I get some Doge stamps?
You need a fucking giant bucket of those peanut butter pretzels that they sell also in the corner.
Yo,
At Crypto.com?
do you know anybody who's ever bought food out of a Staples?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
What do you
yes.
mean,
100%.
yes?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
Yeah.
Every time I go to a Staples, I get gummy worms. I also buy gummy worms at Best Buy whenever I'm at Best Buy.
What? I've never seen food at a Best Buy.
They have them at like the
Just at the
in
front?
the checkout.
Oh,
yeah.
the
In the
like
checkout.
before
That's how
you,
they get you.
Yeah, before you leave,
The-
we have to get you spot. Okay.
Yeah, you're buying a
Yeah, the
television
best-
for $3,000.
The Best Buy I went to in college was one of the only places I could get Mexican soda for like a long time. So I would just like go to the Best Buy and be like, I would do that thing where I'm like, do I need some electronics? Oh, I should look at the TVs. And I'd be like, oh, well, nothing strikes my fancy. And then I just like, well, I might as well get these fucking Coca-Colas from Mexico. And
I guess I'll
thing.
come out of here with 9 bottles of
With
Mexican
9,
Coke.
I will clean out the small fridge of Mexican Coke in the front and act like that wasn't my intent when I came into the fucking door. Anyway.
Did you have the like Pink Panther music playing when you was going to go get the Mexican Coke on the
Yeah.
low? You were like sneakily.
Yeah, exactly. But imagine the Pink Panther is made out of metal and is the clumsiest person you've ever met. And I'm just kind of like clanking around, just like with my and like I'm carrying so much stuff. I have to then propel myself with my feet in my wheelchair. So I'm just kind of like I'm like Flintstone driving with this like thing full of Coca-Cola. Anyway,
I feel like this is
God.
the worst remake of Metal Gear 3 that I've ever heard of. Like, this is the worst sneaking mission of all time in that space. Nikki, how do you feel about the Staples Center? I'm sorry, Crypto Center being the new home of the Lakers?
It is one of the most frustrating things I think I've ever like experienced. For like a lot of reasons. I think like, well, it's multiple reasons. One is the personal reason, which is that my best friend's parents did the inside of the building. So like that building is like in my brain and in my body as like a part of like an extension of my human form. So that to be like, it's called something different now is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, do you know how hard it is to open a brand new stadium and then immediately win in it and like immediately create history in the building?
Mm.
That is like we did a three-peat. The first 3 years of the existence of the Staples Center, we hung a banner every single year for 3 years. That building is called the Staples Center. It is not a center sponsored by Staples. The building is called Staples Center. And like calling it, first of all, Staples paid only $325 million for lifetime naming rights. Wow. So I don't really understand how lifetime to me
must be means shorter than I thought. Yeah,
but maybe it's the lifetime of Staples, and maybe this means that Staples is about to go under.
Staples basically wrote their own obituary by letting crypto.com.
It also implies that Staples at one point had $325 million in liquid cash sitting around.
They definitely did. Did you see what they were selling in there? Like, did you see what they were selling in there?
Yeah,
like,
you're right. Chair. They had
chairs.
chairs.
If they had chairs in there like this, they were making dough.
It's just such a bummer. I think it is such a characterless name. It would be different if it was called, the fact that it's crypto.com arena, I think is what
that
gets
it's
me.
.com makes me so angry.
If it was crypto arena, would be
I would still hate it.
I would hate it, but I'd be like, all right, whatever. It's crypto.com like it's fucking pets.com. Like, what year is it?
Well, I mean,
you can't just call a building
crypto.biz, that would have made it better.
That would have been better.
It would have been better, but like, if it's just crypto, then you can go like, let's go to the crypt.
Let's go to the crypt.
We're at the crypt.
Exactly.
Ooh.
But now we can't.
Like the Lakers play at the crypt, and then you've got like these like dark like Halloween ass jerseys that they wear once a year
cool.
on Crypt
It's
night.
really cool.
They got the Undertaker to come in and be like, Blue Lives Matter, go Lakers.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just like, it's, no one's going to call it this.
No one's
like,
going
no one is
to
going to
Listen,
call it this.
I'm not an Angelino. I'm not an Angelino. Here's the thing. I am an honorary Angelino because I lived there for 5 years, which is roughly 4.5 years longer than a reasonable person could afford to live in Los Angeles. So I feel like I somewhat belong to LA. Nikki is absolutely an Angelino, and neither one of us will ever call that thing Staples. No. When you talk about that area, you go, yeah, it's over by Staples, and you're never talking about the business. You're talking about the general area, like close to LA Live, close to the Xbox shit. You don't say any of that. You say, yeah, it's over by Staples, and everyone knows what that means.
There's literally
the janky Hooters that you go to at E3, close to Staples.
Close to Staples. There's literally a Staples by Staples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the Staples that is blocks away from Staples, no one is like, oh, you mean by the Bob Hope Patriotic Hall? No. I'm talking about closer to the fucking LA Live.
Yeah.
Why does Bob Hope have a patriotic hall?
I don't know. That's what it's called.
I mean, I understand the USO bits, but anyway, I'm old.
I don't know. I think it's like a paper factory now. Oh, no. You know what? It's not a paper factory. It's a Chinese car office building.
Oh, interesting.
BYD.
Interesting.
Oh.
Anyway, fuck this. This sucks.
I also feel like the thing that is bugging me about this is the fact that it just legitimizes crypto again in some weird way.
Yeah, like
that's the part that kind of like messes with me is yes, those naming conventions that we're all kind of used to for like landmarks and the way we talk about spaces and all those kinds of things, but like seeing a commercial for crypto.com last night.
Yeah.
Like
it's so grim.
I was like, oh man, like we're really going for it right now. We're like really gonna do it. And I'm like, damn.
I think that the other insulting thing is that, like, to me, and I think this might just be because I live there, and like the Lakers are my team, and like
Yeah.
whatever. But like Staples Center is on par, to me. The name is on par with Madison Square Garden and the United Center and Yankee Stadium
Mm-hmm.
and Fenway. And it's like those, like MSG and Yankee Stadium and Fenway are like not branded, but like you know those buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you know Staples the same way. Like you're not.
There
It's
would
annoying.
be like
It will-
legitimate fights if Madison Square Garden ever were to even get close to being there.
Yeah,
Having
to like
a-
renaming it.
Oh,
But I think
God.
Madison Square Garden is actually technically the Madison Square Garden presented by Chase.
It is. It is. You're
It
absolutely
could,
right.
But that
it
would
could
be
be. It
different.
could be worse. It could be
It could
the
be worse.
Coinbase Square Garden.
Look, I'm still trying to
It
wrap
could-
my head around the fact that Smoothie King has a fucking arena.
Bing bong.
Oh, which is listen, Ka, I'm sorry. I have to stop you for a second.
Yes.
The fact that there is a major arena called the Smoothie King Arena
Yes.
fucking owns. I love it so much.
I'm
Like, fuck American Airlines, fuck Chase, fuck all these big things. Give me Smoothie King. Give me the Jersey Mike's Turbo Arena. Give me the fucking give me like the Quiznos Bowl. Give me the fucking
the Quiznos Bowl is good.
the Zaxby's Coliseum. Like, give me the shitty like mall chain restaurants. Wow, the Lakers next year are playing at the Auntie Anne's Stadium. Incredible.
Oh,
that would
shit.
rule.
Yeah.
Wow, your new home for the New York Knicks, Orange Julius Center.
Yo, I will personally throw a Molotov cocktail. I will fly back home with liquid in a bottle with a wick at the end of it and throw that shit out of the plane while we float over that bitch. I don't care what
Every time Obi Toppin does a tomahawk jam, they just open the ceiling and Orange Julius just rains down on the entire crowd.
Oh.
Congratulations, Obi Toppin did a dunk.
Everyone gets an Orange Julius. I'm more mad at Smoothie King being the name of that, not because it's the actual name. Well, Smoothie King is actually just like a ridiculous name, but I'm just like mad that Jamba Juice got outbid by Smoothie King. Like, what is Jamba Juice doing right now? Like, what y'all had? Like, y'all were like the go-to spot.
They got Starbucks money. They could be throwing it around.
Yo,
but
that's
they
what I'm
don't.
saying. It feels like a missed opportunity to like stamp your claim on an actual spot like that. What's
Okay,
wrong
now
with
what
y'all?
about this? What about this? What about this? The Orange Julius Irving Plaza at
Uh-huh.
Madison Square Garden, presented by Chase.
Again, then you have to
Now,
explain
why
who the
would
hell
that- now-
Julius Irving is to like a whole generation of people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Who? I thought he was
Now,
number
now I
30.
also love that it would be Julius Irving in the Knicks arena
Oh,
for
that's-
like some
Yeah.
reason. It's
God.
like,
That's where he would be. I don't know why.
And then you'd have Julius Irving, Julius Randle night. So you'd have a
Julius Irving's
I love
Julius
that.
Randle night, yes.
Then
That's
you have
Presented by
Julius-
Orange Julius at Madison Square Garden.
brought to you by
presented by
Chase.
Chase. Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those weird things where it is a sign of the times in some like form or fashion, but it also feels like a backward step for the whole NBA to like lose that iconic name that
It's
goes
so
along
dumb.
with that thing.
For
Then we're
no
gonna have to hear it in
reason.
NBA 2K as well. Ick.
yeah,
Yuck.
I know.
Ew.
Real quick, Brian. Hi, Brian. Sweet Baby Ray's Omni Center, which is probably
That's
where
pretty good.
Mark Zuckerberg hangs out, is what it sounds like to me.
Oh my
Anyway.
god. I'm just happy no chicken sponsors have ever gotten an NBA arena because that would just feel racist.
Well,
Well, here's your starting Brooklyn Nets, brought to you by Popeyes. Like
that
what?
would be cool though. That would rule though, is the
That would
thing.
be
Because
that'd
you
be
remember
good,
what
then
happened
they
to
would put a Popeyes inside of Barclays.
Which would be
Barclays
great.
has good food, but
Okay, what if there was a Popeyes in there? though?
Popeyes isn't that good. I can't front. on Popeyes.
Whoa.
Popeyes is not that great. I had maybe this is maybe don't John don't you come through that screen for me. I had Popeyes maybe last month and I was like, ugh, Popeyes. This is where college gets canceled. Ah! Popeyes is not that good. Somebody clip it. Anyway,
I can't eat Popeyes.
Popeyes is rough.
Oh, it's because
Listen,
I'm allergic
Popeyes-
to one of the spice.
Listen, Popeyes, I'm allergic to Popeyes too. It blows my ass out every time I eat it. But like, I love it. I love it coming and going.
Actually, the interesting part is I had Church's Chicken for the first time.
Church
When I-
chicken's all right.
Church's Chicken is better than Popeye's chicken, in my opinion.
Listen, I ain't gonna be mad at that take because Church's is pretty good.
Yeah.
But I like the spice. I love that red beans and rice that
Yeah.
Popeyes. Oh,
I love
yeah.
that chicken from Popeyes.
I think
Love
what ruined me from Popeyes is Jerry Rice's helmet. That Jerry Rice helmet, chicken helmet, was the thing that killed me.
Yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
find a
not great.
Popeyes.
Anyway,
All right.
Popeyes is
I'm buying a Popeyes.
D-tier chicken. I've said it out loud.
Should
I'm gonna
Fanbyte
ask
buy a
Michelle if we
Popeyes?
can- I'll just DM Michelle right now and ask her if we can buy a
We
Popeyes.
can buy a Popeyes.
If
That's
you
good.
buy a Popeyes, I want to do the commercial in this chair.
Okay.
Next and last story of this Corner 3 episode, we had our good friend and viewer and watcher of the show, Stephen A. Smith, had a really interesting take, or I'm not going to say interesting take, he had a take on the current situation for the Brooklyn Nets and Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant not matching up in the ways that they thought. I'm going to play a clip. It's about 3 minutes long. And we're going to just talk about it. You can talk over it. You can talk after it. We'll see how that works right after this.
Kevin Durant, I'm sad for you, bro. You all alone. You have no help. And more importantly than anything else, you made
You're
the wrong
dumb.
decision. By
You're
going.
ugly.
And I'm not talking about this as a Knicks fan. I'm talking about this as New York, because I'm Knicks first, Swagoo, but New York always. Knicks first, New York always. I'm always rooting for New York, and I'll always root for Brooklyn, with the exception of when they go against the Knicks. Kevin Durant made the wrong decision by going to the New York Knicks, and he's going to rue the day that he did that. And let's analyze why that is. Because you got a guy in James Harden, not first year, this is the second year in a row. Mad love for James Harden. You got to get your act together, bro. You ain't James Harden right now, averaging 19 points a game. You sitting there struggling from the field. You had 24 points last night. It's the meaningless.
Only
24
averaging
points that I've ever
20
seen from the
points a
career of
game.
James Harden. You are a superstar, and you are not looking like one. It is that simple. You got to get it together. KD, you made the wrong decision, bro. And here's why. Because you trusted Kyrie. Kyrie Irving betrayed you. Flat out betrayed you. Left you hanging. And while you sitting up there getting your ass kicked last night, all right? Steph Curry sitting there shimmying and joking around, laughing on the court. They were cheering for Steph Curry in Brooklyn. From opening tap, they were chanting MVP in the Barclays Center, and it wasn't for the dude averaging 28.9 points a game for the Brooklyn Nets. It was for Steph Curry. And then you juxtapose Steph Curry compared to Kyrie Irving, and what do you have? You got Kyrie Irving, who is a showstopper. Kyrie Irving, who is a superstar talent. He is box office and can't be trusted. I actually hope Kyrie Irving gets cut. I mean, this is a disgrace. To sit up there and watch this team last night look like straight garbage.
Garbage.
And every respectable team that you go against, you lost to Chicago by double digits. You got spanked last night by Golden State by double digits. You lost to the Charlotte Hornets by double digits. You got spanked on opening night by double digits against Milwaukee. Every respectable team you go up against waxes y'all behind. And why? Because KD don't have no help. You left there all alone. You ain't got a culture. You don't even have a damn fan base. Brooklyn, stand up. I don't want to hear that nonsense again. Brooklyn, the borough of Brooklyn, should be ashamed of yourself.
Agreed.
The only damn thing good about the Barclays Center are the concession workers and the people handling the traffic in and out of the arena, like my boy Tony and the crew. Those are the only decent things about the Barclays Center. It's just dead. You walk up in there, there's no fan base to gravitate towards, there's no momentum, there's no fervor, there's no
have a
passion,
post move that the
I'm
building
showing
commit to
more passion
memory.
in this studio by my damn self than 17,700 plus showed at the Barclays Center for the Brooklyn Nets last night. KD shouldn't even want to be there. He shouldn't even be wasting his services being there.
That was one of my
Hero.
favorite takes.
Go.
I had
the
not
year.
heard that, and I'm
Hero.
so glad that you played the
Thank
whole
you for your
thing. That's so
service,
good.
Steven.
Thank
I
you,
cannot wait for
Stephen
that
A.
girl on TikTok to do that one.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh my
that's gonna be very
God.
good.
She's so funny.
That's going to be very good. So,
Fuck.
what are your thoughts
right,
about
though.
Stephen A's take? Nikki, go ahead first.
He's right though.
He's not wrong.
Kyrie did fuck him up.
For
Like
three-
straight up. Like Kyrie like got him to come and then like it was like just kidding. Now to be fair, it's not like anybody knew the pandemic was gonna happen.
No,
And it
no.
like nobody knew that like but he is kind of having to deal with the ramifications of trusting a guy who clearly is not all there.
Yeah.
It is. Go ahead, John. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this first.
Oh, I mean, I agree. Like, if I'm Kevin Durant, I mean, Kevin Durant seems like he is the kind of guy who will literally never admit that he's made a mistake. Like, he will argue until he's blue in the face about something that everybody knows is just wrong. Like, he just seems like a pretty stubborn guy. And it's probably because he's like, you know, one of the best basketball players that's ever lived. And he's just kind of earned it, I guess.
He's earned it.
but
He won 2 rings and his
he won 2
multiple
rings.
MVPs or
He's
whatever.
just he's just a great player. But like, yeah, it does seem like I think a reasonable person about a week into the Kyrie shit would have been like, can we like cut this guy or something and just get like trade him to fucking, does Alabama have a team?
And you're in press conferences saying that you don't believe in him, you don't back him. That's what Stephen A. Smith would say.
I mean,
Uh-huh.
it's one of those things where I like the thing that comes across a lot with the fan base part of the conversation. That actually is one of the things that I feel is the most true of all of the parts that go along with this. Like, I think when you are a superstar player in that respect and you're thinking about your next moves, when you're clearly unhappy in at least 2 of the places that you traveled, when you have been the person, and you've been the focal point of not only the office but the franchise, is you want to have that adoration from the new fan base that you're going to be going to. You want to feel like you're building a new thing. Hence, you wouldn't have left like one of the best teams on the planet to go somewhere else and be the man and do that stuff, and to not have the crowd show up ever. Like, it's a dead stadium. Like, I love Barclays Center in terms of like,
Oh, it's a cool stadium. Yeah.
it's a dope
Cool
stadium.
arena.
Like, it has really good viewing angles and stuff like that. Like, you can get a pretty good seat wherever you're at, a good viewing point wherever you're sitting.
Yeah.
But if like no one's hyped in your arena, like
Doesn't matter.
Again, the Madison Square Garden, no matter how badly the Knicks are playing, are usually still pretty full.
Yeah.
And people are excited to be there, if not to just
Bing
see
bong.
people
Bing
bing
bong.
bong, and people watch Pete Davidson hugging on Kim Kardashian. Like, that's the reason why you go to a Knicks game at this point. But I mean, we should call Pete Davey the Smoothie King at this point.
Damn.
Yeah.
He picked that up. But the thing that is the most troublesome too is like now, again, we've had this conversation about Kyrie and on a couple of shows. Is he even a player now that is trustable in any real way? Like, can you actually trust Kyrie Irving to be a person that you would want to ride or die with at all? Or like have as a teammate where you're like, oh yeah, we want Kyrie Irving as the person who's going to like bring people to our team to help us build a championship? The answer seems like absolutely not at this point. Like, how do you build around that kind of personality when you have other people in the space?
I remember that minute where I thought LeBron was wrong.
Right.
For like,
Oh, about Kyrie?
Yeah.
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 Like I couldn't really explain why I thought LeBron was wrong, but like I was like, LeBron, I think is just like kind of pissy, like being pissy. No, he was right.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm in
He
that
knew, he
boat.
knew what the fuck he was talking about.
Yeah.
He was
yeah.
right to get out of there.
Yeah. 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 It feels like I don't know if he's gotten pariah status yet, but it
Yeah.
definitely feels like he's into like, yo,
He's on the way.
He's on the way, right?
Yeah.
The other part of that equation that was actually pretty interesting was the commentary around James Harden, which
Yeah.
I mean, James, I feel like for the past 3 to 4 seasons has come into camp overweight and not in shape.
Mm-hmm.
And he hasn't really cared because he was like, again, the pandemic was one part of that. Strip clubs were another part of that.
His
Popeyes-
torn ACL was another
Torn
part
ACL
of
was
that.
another of that. Popeyes was the fourth part of that. Like there were layers of the James Harden conversation that added to his not dropping 30 points.
I guess
a
he didn't
game.
tear his ACL. He got a hamstring injury.
He had a hamstring.
Sorry, before people email me.
Gosh, Tiki, why are you so anti ACL? I wonder what that means though. Like, how does that work now for Harden? Because I think he's still a integral part of this team, and if he plays well and up to his capacity, they can still make some noise in the East. What are your thoughts about what Harden can still bring? Do you feel like he's over the hump now at this point, or over the you know
Over
the
the
phrasing?
hill?
James Harden seems like the kind of guy that those rule changes happened and he's just going to be like pouty about it and not really care about his production. I mean, he's not playing the same way he used to even, I feel like. I don't know. I don't know if he still can be that guy. It does kind of seem like to me he's lost something. It seemed like when in the brief window when all three of them were playing together, James Harden did strike me as again like he was in Oklahoma City, kind of the third part of that.
Yeah.
Like Kyrie and Kevin Durant seemed like the key parts, and Harden almost seemed like an afterthought, which was so strange when in Houston he was superstar face of the league type material. And now he's kind of disappeared in Brooklyn, I feel like.
Yeah.
He's not the focal point, and he's also not shining the way he used to actually on the court. So I don't know. My guess is that this is psychological and not physical, whatever's going on with James. So if they can fix that, maybe it's cutting Kyrie, maybe it's just like getting
Just fix his brain.
yeah, well, I mean, James, go to, do you have a therapist?
Go to sport therapy.
Yeah, like legit. Like,
Or
I don't
retire.
know. I mean, he's obviously one of the best players that the league has seen in the past 20 years. Like,
Top
he
75.
can figure it out. Top 75.
Way
Yeah.
better than Dwight Howard. Take that, Dwight Howard. Yeah, I
Who has more rings though?
True.
Damn.
Popeyes has more rings, actually. You really want to get down to
They have
it.
onion rings at Popeyes now? Damn, I gotta go.
I mean, if James Harden wants something, I think James Harden would, if he was going to go to therapy, if he was actually going to do the work of making that happen, he should absolutely just do it in this chair. I think that's the
should.
place where he should have those
Where
conversations.
can you find that chair though, Khalif?
Shop.fanbyte.com.
Store.fanby.com.
Store.fanby.com.
Jesus Christ, Khalif. Come on.
Now we have
This
to
is
buy
what-
shop.fanby.com.
Now I have
Yeah,
to
you
buy
gotta buy
shop.
shop.
Come on.
Look, we're just going to
when you
rename it to
go-
crypto.com anyway.
It's terrible. When you go on the Popeyes website, it says, when will you pick up your order? The first box. It's a pop-up. It says, when will you pick up your order?
When?
Like,
It says, please order 72 hours in advance. That's the first sentence. The second sentence, if your order will be $1,500 or more, please contact the restaurant directly.
I feel like that was made for rappers and athletes. Like that
But can
that
you-
menu item, because that's one of those things like when you go to the spot, you order a whole bunch of stuff. Like when Michael Jackson ordered, 7,000 chicken McNuggets. And
That's
then just
true.
and then, like threw him out of
Yeah.
the thing. Like I feel like that's one of those. That's unreasonable.
I'm going to
That's
get,
unreasonable.
we should get Popeyes to sponsor this show.
Okay, I'll call him.
Please
Call
let
him.
let
Just
them
give
know.
him a ring.
Hit them up and tell them. I want to see the Smash Brothers version of fast food fights where you have Smoothie King, Staples.com.
I mean, it's coming. Burger King's gonna fire up their label again, their games label, and they're gonna make this
Games
game.
are back, baby. Ronald
Yeah.
McDonald, he's gonna kill Burger King and Wendy.
God, can you imagine Ronald McDonald's stage is like the Ronald McDonald house? There are all these kids, sick kids in the background watching Ronald McDonald get fucking murked.
And he uses them
by
as props.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Damn.
All I know
Wendy's
is
Wendy's
like
ugly is
whipping him with
fucked
her
up.
hair.
all I know is that in this calendar year, in the year of our Lord 2021, I saw Mario Lopez star as the Colonel for Kentucky
Colonel.
Fried Chicken.
Yeah.
That was this year.
That was this year.
No. Was that this year?
I think so. Well, you know what?
No.
Was it? I don't think that was
KFC.
last year.
No.
Was that
There's
last
no
year?
way.
That was
this
last year. It was right
was
at
last
the
year.
end of last year.
It was
Okay,
the
it was
end
December-
of last
Because it
year.
was like Christmas.
Oh my
It was like a
god.
Christmas
Yeah, it was
thing.
December 2020. They released a Lifetime original movie.
Yes.
That is so
December
bonkers.
8th.
Fantastic, by the way. Anyway. We're gonna get up out of here for this episode of Corner 3. I think we plugged everybody but our own stuff. Except for that one time where Nikki told everyone where they could go get the best chair and dopest
That's right.
shirts on the planet. Where can they go to go see more of that goodies?
Fanbite.com. If you don't buy a shirt, I can't eat. John won't let me.
That was the best. That was the best like cry for help since the since the Miami Heat ransom jerseys.
I've told you not to disclose our arrangement, Nikki,
Yeah.
but that's fine.
I mean, talk about a peek behind the curtain. I don't like, gosh darn. Everybody at home, I hope you are having a wonderful day. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. We'll be back next week, potentially with more Corner 3. I don't know. It depends on.
No,
if
we
we're-
won't. We
no,
won't
we
be
don't.
back
Because
next
it's
week.
the holidays and
We
stuff.
won't.
I
I'll
won't
check
be
in and
here.
go like, I'll just my face while I'm sitting there with turkey hanging out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, basketball happened, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway, bye.
it may be me just from my phone in the middle of Oklahoma talking to white people.
That's
We'll
fine.
see you.
Dave, you're
all-
going to Oklahoma? Sad.
Yeah, I'm going to Oklahoma to go see
You're
my-
down bad for your wife, huh?
I mean, it's the most
Sad.
crypto.com thing I could do in this holiday season. We'll see
I mean,
you all.
you know, God's really pretty this time of year.
It
I'm
is.
kidding.
It is.
kidding.
It's nice to see all the down power lines because of the snow
Yeah.
and ice.
No, it's good to see all the dusty ass bullshit that's in Oklahoma anyway.
Mother effing high. I'll see you. We'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Much love to
Hook
you
'em.
all. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.
Hook
Peace,
'em. Just kidding. Fuck the hook.
peace. Oh my god. That just made me cry tears of actual tears. All right, y'all. Peace, y'all.
All right.
Later.
Lit. Bye. Have a good one.
Bye, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Peace.